6 locations.
6 locations.
One mandate.
One mandate.
The same God.
The same God.
Yeah. I had friends who used to engage in prayers a lot. So if I count properly, we used to pray more than 8 times a day, minus times for eating actually. God gave me the gift of men, and it's been from one man to another because men are seasons. We saw Jesus speak to 3,000 people, but by the power of wisdom, we saw that someone was able to come up with a microphone. We see that by the power of miracles, Moses is able to separate the Red Sea. But by wisdom, we see that men, after the order of Bezalel, now began to build bridges. Yeah, because it's one thing for you to receive a mandate, right? But it's another thing for you to package it in a way that the generation will benefit. The same.
So you need ideas, you need strategies, you need resources, you need people.
Exactly.
Yes, that's. I'm learning a lot actually. And I'm getting inspired.
Because a typical campus is a place where immorality is a place where people indulge in different things that cause their destiny just to go in the wrong side. So these are places that we need to minister in, these are places that we have to go for, and these are places that Jesus must be seen. I've seen campuses get lit, get ablaze by the fire of God. I remember, so the prophetic word is RE, in this season.
Wow.
Yeah.
The prophetic word is RE.
Yeah.
Interesting. Is ministry for everyone?
So everyone, yes, is designed for ministry. So I define ministry as 3 things. Ministry is knowing God, making Him known, and Him knowing you. Let's say when a lady puts on makeup, truth be told, that's not the real them. Trust me, that's not the real person we are seeing there, but there's someone behind. So he's telling that go ye into the cosmos, go and show the people the real thing, not the makeup, but go show the people the makeup.
Wow.
Not the makeup, but the makeup. And my heart cry has been for God to raise more laborers in the land. Now imagine if we had 10, 20 people doing what I was doing, at least campuses would have been covered in this particular year. At least I've seen that the fire of God is being ignited in these campuses through the agency. So that's the input. When He tells you a prompt, can you obey promptly? So when He tells me to jump, I'll jump. When He tells me go to Asia, I'll go to Asia. I'll make sure I go to Asia.
6 locations, 1 mandate, the same God. Hi, my name is Ruth Mwape, and I am here with Sir David Mweendalubi, who is an author and a minister of the gospel. So David, you're welcome.
Thank you so much for having me once again. Yeah.
So David, with me here, I just have a few questions. So David, you have done a number of campus invasions.
Yeah.
How would you explain your journey and how has it been throughout the year? Because you have done quite a number of them. I should say 6.
Yes.
Yes.
6.
How has it been?
Okay, the experience has been amazing, challenging at the same time. What I can say is that it's been a journey. I'm sure you know when it comes to a journey, there are humps involved. There's also a point where it's a smooth road. Otherwise, it's been great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been great.
I'm glad it has been. Which campuses have you done the invasions from this year?
Okay, so by the grace of God, we did 6 campuses this year. Yeah, under the mandate of the agency. Yeah, so I think the first university was Mukuba University on the 8th of February. Then we moved to March. So in March, we targeted 3 campuses. So on the 1st of March, we were in Kabwe, Kabwe Institute of Technology. Then on the 4th of March, came back to the Copper Belt, specifically Ronald Ross Nursing College. Then on the 12th of March, which was Youth Day, we were at Nkuruma. Then from there, we went to Lusaka, which was Levi Mwanawasa, Medical University. Then the last invasion that we had was Mulungushi University on the 2nd of November.
On the 2nd of November. Yeah. Wow. So looking at the fact that you've had quite a number of these in a very short period of time, how did you manage? How did you go about it?
Okay, not really a short period of time,
Yes.
but we tried our best, as myself and my team, to actually obey God. It was great. Yeah, it was great. Like I mentioned, not really a short period of time. Yeah, but we tried our best to do what God wanted us to do this year. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. So in short, we can say it's the grace of God.
Exactly. No man can do this work, man, as God, especially that when it comes to ministry. You need four things. You need people. You need ideas, strategies. Yeah, because it's one thing for you to receive a mandate, right? But it's another thing for you to package it in a way that a generation will benefit. The same way that both of us can receive a revelation, but the English to translate that revelation rather, to resonate with an audience, with the people in a particular day is different. So you also need ideas, you also need strategies, you need resources, you need financial resources, then ultimately you need the help of God.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you need ideas, you need strategies, you need resources, you need people.
Exactly.
Yes, that's I'm learning a lot actually, and I'm getting inspired, because especially looking at the fact that you are a young person and you are doing all these things. When did you discover purpose, and when did you start working in it? Looking at the fact that we are in a generation where so many things are happening, and it's very difficult for somebody to just go into the line of purpose and go into the discovering of purpose. How did you discover your purpose and begin to work in it?
Okay, the purpose question is a $1 trillion question. How did I discover purpose? Okay, so purpose is more of two things. It's a walk, W-A-L-K. It's also work, W-O-R-K. So it involves you discovering who you are, whose you are, and what you ought to do.
Wow.
Yeah, so ultimately, purpose is all about expressing the desires of God on the face of the earth. We can't outstretch that. That's the main point. So how I discovered this was that I've been blessed by God with a gift of men. Yeah, this is one thing that I know that God has blessed me with. It's a gift of men. God has introduced different men of God in my life during particular seasons that helped me realize who I am. So I think at a tender age, I grew up from a disciplined background. Yeah, my parents were disciplinarians, so we didn't really have time to do all those other things that lead people into sin and stuff like that. So at least I was cultured in a particular way that I knew God at an early age, and I knew not to engage myself in different vices that would harm my life and my destiny at a tender age. So my family was the bedrock of on which I became who I am. That's very important. The next thing is that I think when I was in grade 8, God introduced me to friends that were deliberate and came to the things of God. So when I was in grade 8, I was at Chivombo boarding secondary, actually, the central province. So there, I had friends who used to engage in prayers a lot. So if I count properly, we used to pray more than 8 times a day, minus times for eating, actually. It's not really exaggerating, but you'd find that before you go for class in the morning, there were prayers. At break time, there were prayers. At lunch, there were prayers. Prep time would go before going to study, there were prayers and stuff like that. So that kind of environment and the friends that I had, at least they were shaping who I am. Fast forward, moved from the central province, came here, the Copper Belt. To be specific, God introduced me to other men as well that now began to speak into my destiny to say, you are great, you are going to be a man of God, you are going to preach the gospel, you are going to express God in different dimensions. So it's been a deliberate step, a movement of God bringing deliberate men of God in my life that shaped who I am. So how I discovered is that God gave me the gift of men, and it's been from one man to another, because men are seasons.
Wow.
Yeah, each time a man comes into your life, there are seasons, and be able to tell, to say God is helping you jump into a new dimension. The other thing that helped me discover him is that there's always something that resonated with me each time I watch different men of God. So at a tender age, I was introduced to Apostle Johnson Suleiman. So there's just something in him that resonated with what I carry inside. So from there, I began to see that what he's doing, I think I'll also do it one day. And I'm sure you know that Apostle is a man that moves a lot. Every week he's ministering, he's having a crusade. So it's a gift of men.
The gift of man.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a really inspiring testimony, especially coming from a young person of this generation. So when you look at the world today, some people will tell you to say make as many mistakes as you can, because you are young and this is the only time you can do so. And you come in and say the urgency is real. This is the time that you have to work for the Lord. So for a person who's stuck in between, thinking to say, should I enjoy my life now or should I work for God now? How would you encourage them to step into purpose even as they are young?
Okay, thank you. That's a very good question. So it's an issue, number one, of clarity. Truth be told, since we are human beings, we are prone to error. Yeah, we are prone to error. So scripture actually tells us that this is David in the book of Psalms saying that, Lord, satisfy me early. There's just this fulfillment that comes with being satisfied early, and satisfaction will only come when you know who you are, when you know your purpose, when you know your assignment. The reason why people grapple, the reason why people have got this feeling of insufficiency in themselves is a question of purpose. So mistakes will be made, but mistakes must not be made deliberately. Mistakes must be made when you are approaching what you feel deep down is what you ought to do. Yeah, so mistakes will be made. That's the bottom line. But clarity of purpose must be discovered, must be known at an early stage. You have to know. Now, there's actually a word, it's a funny word, it's called groping, G-R-O-U-P-I-N-G. So, it's a hack 101 when you want to discover purpose. So groping is that kind of situation where when you enter a place that's dark, maybe your room, so definitely you know in your room to say, in my room there's a bed, there's so and so, you know where everything is. But now grappling will happen when, since you know, okay, in that room there's a bed, you begin to search for it. You know it's there, but since it's dark, you can't see, you begin touching things like that. So like I said, mistakes must only be made when you are approaching what you feel deep down is what you ought to do. Remember, purpose is a work. It's work. So my message to someone out there would be, you need to start advancing towards destiny, towards purpose, towards your assignment, towards your mandate at an early stage. It might not be particularly in ministry. There are 7 mountains of influence. There are people who are not, per se, oracles like me. They are orators. So there are people who are good at speaking, people who can represent God in parliament, people who can shape nations through scriptures. Because look at, let's say, America. America is actually built on the foundations of scripture. The Constitution of America was gotten from scripture. So there are people now that stood who are leaders. So it's not particularly, in this place of, maybe preaching per se, like it's in different phases of life. Can be business, can be the academia, like Daniel. So mistakes will be made, but mistakes must be made as you advance towards destiny and purpose. Yeah. Wow.
Mistakes will be made, but only mistakes as you're advancing towards destiny and purpose. Well, that's really, I'm learning a lot. Honestly, I am learning a lot. So David, you started writing. You have been an author for some time. When did you start writing your books, and what impact have you had from the time you started writing the books, and what feedback have you gotten from that?
Okay, so I'm a published author of 3 books now. Okay, started writing in the year 2020, but I discovered I could write in 2017. So I think for 3 years I was preparing myself. I had to polish my writing skills, my vocabulary, my grammar, my diction. I had to apply myself in those areas.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think it's been a journey now of 5 years as a writer, as an author.
Wow.
So yeah, so the impact I've had so far is that, okay, the first book was The Rise of God's Remnant, released in 2021. Yeah, right here in Kitwe, that's when I had my book launch. So the impact I've had is that with the first book, it's a revival menu. And I call myself a spiritual journalist, not just someone who pens down things from their head, no. Because there are moments in the realm of the spirit that happen. So there are people that need to capture that and bring it to time. So it's one thing to see a moment in the spirit, but what happens is that you have to have a facility, a system, a platform that you trap the knowledge, the things that you are seeing in the realm of the spirit. Because before things happen in time, they start from the realm of the spirit. So I'm actually a person that pens down, puts those moments in the spirit in ink. So the impact now I've had is that the first book is a revival menu. So it shows a believer the journey into knowing their end time mandate, because a believer has got a part to play in the end time mandate. So the first book now shows you your journey. So the impact I've had is that the people that bought the book, at least they now know that, okay, this is their role in the end time mandate. I'll give you an example. By the power of miracles, we saw Jesus speak to 3,000 people, but by the power of wisdom, we saw that someone was able to come up with a microphone. We see that by the power of miracles, Moses is able to separate the Red Sea, but by wisdom, we see that men, after the order of Bezalel, now began to build bridges. Why? Because it's the mandate of the believer in this end time. So by the first book, I'm able to see that people now are awakening to their God-given mandate as remnants in this end time, because men that are in the spotlight must not celebrate that, okay, they are the only ones that God is using, but the other 7,000 remnants that God is raising. The second book is the Love Doctor series, the diagnosis of true love. With that one, I was trying to show a generation the angle, the perspective that God has when it comes to relationships. So at least the people that have received those books now know the right way of doing relationships according to the perspective of God. Then the third book, of which has helped me now move in 6 locations in a year, 6 campuses in a year, 2025, the agency. With that one now, I've seen campuses get lit, get ablaze by the fire of God. I remember when I went to Mulungushi on the 2nd of November, this particular year, I saw people approach me saying that I didn't know about such men in Zambia. And my heart cry has been for God to raise more laborers in the land. Now imagine if we had 10, 20 people doing what I was doing, at least campuses would have been covered in this particular year. So at least I've seen that the fire of God is being ignited in these campuses through the agency. So that's the impact I've seen. I've seen the impact of the souls of men being transformed.
Wow. Such great impact. I personally have been blessed by the book, The Agency. Please, if you haven't gotten one for yourself, please make sure you do so, because you're going to be blessed. So there's, why campuses? I have seen you have this heart for the young minister, for the students. Why campuses? Why not communities? Why not other places? Why did you choose to do your campus invasions?
Oh, okay. Glad you brought out a point of God placing a burden on my heart for the younger generation. looking at the population of Zambia, a vast majority of Zambians are youths.
Yes.
Africa is a young population. The world, young population. So the next leaders, the next big man of God, the next big businessman, the next professor, the next father in that house, in that home, is a youth right now. So the prayer of David, remember, was, Lord, satisfy me early. Look at our Master Jesus, of which we look at as a model. He did his ministry at a tender age. Look at David, tender age. Joseph, tender age. So why campuses? Campuses because these are hotspots. There are about 3 hotspots of which people gather in their numbers. The first one is schools. The second are homes. The third are churches. Now, the attack has been in these places. The attack has been homes. Look at the background of a typical African. It's really difficult to discover your purpose from an African home, a typical African home. The church, look at the people that are speaking to us. There is need. This is why God, like you mentioned, is giving me also a mandate for the young ministers, because we have to preach a particular way to bless a generation with utterance and with unction that will shape cultures and perceptions. So the schools, the campuses, these are hotspots. I remember when I was receiving this burden, it looked big, because a vision that does not scare you, then you must be skeptical about it. So like I mentioned, these are hotspots. When I received this vision to go into these campuses, I was looking at God reaching out to that young person, that young man, that young lady who is at the verge of making an impact, but they don't know how. So God has placed me with an unction, with an anointing, with a grace to reach out to the younger generation by the mercies of God. So these are hotspots, and we have to attack them, because a typical campus is a place where immorality is a place where people indulge in different things that cause their destiny just to go in the wrong side. So these are places that we need to minister in. These are places that we have to go for, and these are places that Jesus must be seen. Show me a place where Jesus is preached. Show me a campus where Jesus is preached. I'll show you a place where a nation will be blessed from. So that's just it. Yeah.
You've talked about a nation, and now this reminds me, what is the heart of God for Zambia as a nation, and where do you see Zambia in terms of ministry, and also the young people taking part in ministry activities and pushing the agenda for God?
Wow, very good question as well. The prophetic calendar of the nation is demanding for a restructure and rebuilding, actually. We've reached a place now where, like Nehemiah, we have to rebuild the walls. God has been working on certain men, and I feel God has to release certain men, especially from Zambia. So there's going to be a restructuring, a reshuffle. Hence this revival that we are seeing, because trust me, fathers are getting old. So they don't really have the zeal and the strength as they used to have in their youthful stage. So we are seeing a reshuffle. It's I think the prophetic word now is revival, restructuring, reshuffles. Everything is re-establishment of visions. So we'll see men that were, were at the backside of destiny. We are seeing them coming back to destiny. We are seeing men that maybe might have lost their way. We'll see them coming back to light. So the prophetic word is re in this season.
Wow.
Yeah.
The prophetic word is re.
Yeah.
Interesting. So I have another question, and this one is just I would say a personal question.
Okay.
Is ministry for everyone? Because I think some of us have been stuck in thinking maybe ministry is for a certain group of people, or there are certain people who are called and others are not. And then sometimes it's the idea that because you might be called in the spirituals, I might be called in these other things, like I might just be a good doctor who provides a good service. Is that ministry as well?
Okay. Every human being actually was designed for ministry, because ministry, the word ministry, let me go into the Greek words now. It comes from the word called diakonia. Diakonia means service. So ministry is actually serving a deity, a spirit, whether in light or in darkness. Yeah. So every human being was designed, programmed to express a spirit, to entertain a spirit. That's the way it is. What we do on earth is express desires that come from the realm of the spirit, be it from God or from the other side. So everyone is designed for ministry. So I define ministry as three things. Ministry is knowing God, making him known, and him knowing you. So you knowing God is now where even Paul at the apex of his ministry actually cried to say that I may know him. What does he mean? A man who's seen everything in ministry, a man who's seen the bad, the good, the beauty and the beast in ministry, he's seen all those things. He's telling him to say that I may know him. So that tells you that ministry is all about knowing God. Even when the curtains of time are drawn, we'll continue knowing God, studying the heart of God, studying the mind of God. Then ministry is also you making God known. This is the mandate that God gave the disciples in Matthew 28, 19 to 20. But go here into the world, into the cosmos. So the word cosmos is where the word cosmetics is gotten from. So cosmetics means, let's say when a lady puts on makeup, truth be told, that's not the real them. Trust me, that's not the real person we are seeing there. But there's someone behind. So he's telling that go here into the cosmos, go and show the people the real thing, not the makeup, but go show the people the maker.
Wow.
Not the makeup, but the maker. So we're going to show them the real thing. So we are called to show the world the real thing.
As an ambassador.
As an ambassador. So let's say in the academic world, people might say, okay, the only way to make it is when you are cheating, is when you shoot. But there are people who are called to represent God in that field. They will not shoot. That's also a particular ministry, because ministry is beyond you talking. It's beyond, it's you showing people their way. Ministry is life. Even Jesus, when he came on the face of the earth, he came to demonstrate a life. He didn't just come to speak, he came to demonstrate a life, a lifestyle. So you're now showing people a lifestyle. So that's you now demonstrating God, showing people, yes. So even in the medical field, when someone is sick, sickness is not the plan of God. So when you come with a vaccine, when you come with medicine, when you come with a skill in the medical field to treat that condition, that's ministry. You are expressing the hand of God out there. Then now it's also God knowing you. This is where we see that in Matthew 7 verse 21, we see that, did you not prophesy in your name? Did you not cast out devils in your name? Did you not do different things in your name? And Jesus says, depart from me. That's strange. These are people that did the miraculous, but they were not known by him. So God knowing you is God licensing you, because when God calls you, remember, many are called, few are frozen. Oh, sorry, many are called, few are chosen. So we see now that when God calls a man, he's calling a man to fellowship. When Jesus called the disciples, he was calling them to fellowship first with him for 3.5 years. After that, he sent them. So the calling is not enough. There must be a sending. Now, the people that are sent are now the chosen ones. So now, God now has to know you. You can't just send yourself. All these 6 campuses that I went to, I didn't send myself. God sent me. There were challenges I faced that, humanly speaking, you can give up. But since now God sends you, he backs you. So that's the knowing part, where God now knows you. So everybody's called into ministry.
So the knowing part here is different from the I knew you before you were born.
It's, how can I put it? It's the same. Why? Because God telling Jeremiah that I knew you is God now telling Jeremiah that I've got a plan for you. Remember in Jeremiah 29:11, where he says, I've got a plan for you. So it's the same knowing. Because in the same knowing, it's more like God telling you that, okay, I knew you are the program for you. So now it's time now for you to ascribe to this program that I knew you before you were formed in your mother's womb, because you have to move according to my program. So it's the same one. Yeah. So about alignment.
Alignment. That's the word. Okay. So David, you are a student, right?
Yes.
And yet you've talked about purpose, you've talked about ministry and all these activities that you've been able to do. I would like you to tell us how have you been able to go about everything, because there's obviously somebody who is so inspired by what you do and they would want to do it, but then they are thinking to say, I have school, I have assignments, I have projects, I have quite a number of things to do. How have you been able to balance up so that somebody else can also be inspired by how you've been able to do everything all together?
Okay. The issue of balance is also a very, very big question that needs to be addressed. Like I mentioned, ministry is a lifestyle. So since it's a life, you create time. There's wisdom in time management. When you plan your activities, it's easy for you to know when to do what to do, where to do it, why to do it. So it's just an issue of planning and aligning yourself to the plan of God. So I would say that when you discover who you are, when you discover what you ought to do, plan. Remember, I mentioned that I planned for these invasions in 2024 actually. That's when I planned out everything, when to go to a particular place. So everything was planned. So it's a lifestyle, and you create time for priorities. That's the truth. Yeah, so it's just an issue of planning.
Issue of planning.
Yeah.
Wow. What advice, I think to conclude this interview, what advice do you have for a young person, or what would you want somebody, if they were to just get inspired by one thing from you, what would that be?
My love for God. Yeah, your love for God is not in crying when worshiping. It's not in speaking in capital letter tongues. No, it's in your obedience. God does not see our love for Him in our tears. He sees our love for Him when we obey His commands. When He tells you a prompt, can you obey promptly? So when He tells me to jump, I'll jump. When He tells me go to Asia, I'll go to Asia. I'll make sure I go to Asia. So it would be the ability not only to be available, but to be responsible. That's love for God. So it would be my love for God to step out when He tells me to step out.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, so David, thank you so much for staying with me up to this time. I have been so inspired by your story, your journey, and how everything has been put together. Thank you so much.
The pleasure is all mine. Thank you for having me.